So now we're going to start to model our data, and a lot of times in courses where I use Node.js and we create APIs, I create one model at a time, but here I'm going to create all three. And what I want to do after we model the data is create a seeder script so that we can actually just import some dummy data to work with. So we're going to create in the backend here, make sure you're in the backend folder, a folder called models. And basically we're going to have three models for three resources in our database, which are going to be the users, the products, and the orders. So let's create the user model.js, and let's create a product model.js, and let's create an order model.js. Okay, so these are our three model files. Let's start off with the user. So first thing we want to do is import Mongoose, and then we want to create a user schema. So let's say const user schema, and we want to set that to mongoose.schema and pass in an object. Now in this object is where we want to define all the fields that we want for a user. So we want a name. Now we could do like name string if that's all we wanted to add was the type, but I also want to make this required, so I'm going to use an object and say type string and then set required to true. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab this and let's copy this down 3 more times. So after name we're going to have the user's email, which will be type string required true, and I also want to make it unique. So let's say unique, set that to true, because we don't want more than one person to have the same email address. After that we have our password, which is going to be type string required true, and then we have is admin. So this will be a Boolean, so let's get rid of that, say Boolean, and required true, and I also want to set a default, and make sure you set this to false, so when a user registers they're not an admin. You'll have to go in, an admin will have to make another user an admin. Now that's really all I want here for user. I do want to have a created at and an updated at field. We could add that manually, but with Mongoose we can actually pass in a second argument of options, and we can say timestamps, and we can set that to true, and it will create those fields automatically. Okay, now down here we want to just create, let's say const user, and we're going to set this to mongoose.model because we want to create a model from this schema. We're going to call it user, and we want to pass in our user schema, and then we just want to export default user, and we'll save that, and that should do it for the user model. Now for product, I'm just going to copy this and go over to product model, and we're going to change the name of this to product model or product schema. And then right here, I want to put a user field because I want to know which user, it'll be an admin. Only admins can create products, but I want to know which user, which admin created which product. So let's give this a type, and the type we want to use is an object ID, which we can get from mongoose.schema.types.object_id. Now I want to set this to required, and then we need to reference a specific model for this object ID, so we use ref and then the model, which is going to be user. Okay, so that will connect, that adds a relationship between the product and the user. So next we do want name, so we'll keep that. We want an image, which is just going to be string and true. We don't need that. Okay, then we want the brand of the product, and then we want the category, which is going to be a string and required. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy this down. So after category, let's have the description of the product. Okay, so description, We're going to have a rating. This is going to be basically the average rating of all the ratings that are in the reviews. And we're going to have a separate review schema, which I'm going to show you in a second. But this will be basically the average rating. It's going to be a number. It's going to be required. And it's going to have a default value of 0. Okay, and then we're also going to track the number of reviews. So we'll call this num reviews. And this is also going to be a number, required true, and give it a default of 0. Okay, we want the price. I'm just going to copy this. Same thing. It's going to be a number, true, and default 0. And same with the count in stock. So we'll copy that and say count in stock. It's going to be number, true, and default 0. Now, the last thing I want to add is the reviews. So I'm going to actually put that right above rating, reviews. Now, reviews is going to be an array of review objects. So we're actually going to have a separate schema called review schema. And we could put this in a separate file, but it's small enough, and this is the only place we're using it. So I'm just going to put it right above the product schema. And we'll say const review schema, set it to mongoose dot schema dot, not dot, pass an object here, and this is going to have a name. So type string and required true. And then I'm just going to copy this down twice. In addition to name, we want the rating. So this is going to be the individual review rating. The rating down here is going to be the average of all of the review ratings. Okay, now this is going to be a number, and it's going to be required true. And then the last one here is going to be a comment. So a review comment, which will be a string, which will be true. I'm also going to add timestamps on this. So timestamps will be set to true. And then lastly, down at the bottom, we want to change this to product. And this product is going to use the product schema. And we want to export product. All right, so that should do it. Hopefully I don't have any typos in here. If I do, I'll find out later. All right, now the order model, I'm just going to copy the user model again and go to order model. And this is probably the biggest model as far as the number of fields. So here, let's change this to order schema. And we're going to have a user connected to the order as well, except this is going to be the user that buys the product. So let's give this a type of mongoose.schema.types.objectId, required true, and we want to reference the user model. Okay, now we're going to have a field called order items, and this is going to be an array of order items, which will have like the name, the quantity, the price, stuff like that. So what we'll do is set this to an array. So we're going to get rid of this and set this to an array here, and I'm going to pass in some curly braces, and let's give this a name and say type string required true. So this is going to be the name of the product, and we'll just copy this down a few times. So name, we also want quantity, so QTY. This is going to be a number, and an image, which will be a string. Price is going to be a number. And then we want product. So product is going to be it's going to be an object ID, but it's going to be linked to the product model. Okay, so it'll have a relationship to the order, will have a relationship to the product. So let's say type, and set that to mongoose.schema.types.objectId. schema dot types dot object ID, and it's going to be required. And the ref here, it's not going to be user this time, it's going to be product. So that's order items. Next one is going to be shipping address. Now shipping address is going to have a bunch of fields in here as well, so we're going to get rid of that, and let's put address. So basically these are embedded objects. So shipping address will have an address, which will be the type of string, and required will be true. And we'll copy this down 3 more times. So address, city, let's do postal code, and let's do country. And after, if you want to add more fields, you could, but that's what I'm going to be using. So next I want the payment method, because even though we're only setting up the PayPal gateway, I want to make it scalable so you can easily add payment methods. So this is going to be a string. We can get rid of the default. Okay, now let's just copy this down a few times. So after payment method, we want the payment result. Now payment result is going to have a few fields in it, and this is going to actually come from PayPal. When we go through and make the payment, when it's successful, we get some data back, and that's what we're going to put in here. It's going to have an ID, which will be type string, and we'll copy this down a few times. So we have an ID, we have a status, so we know if it's paid or not. That'll be a string. We have the update time, and again, this is going to come from PayPal. And then we have the email address. So that'll be the PayPal email that they use. All right, next we're going to have the tax price. So tax price is going to be a number, and it's going to be required. And then for the default, we're going to do 0.0. Now I'm going to actually copy tax price because we have a few other prices like shipping and so on. So I'm going to paste this in a couple times. So under tax price, let's add our shipping price. And same thing, so all this is going to stay the same. Then we're going to have the total price. So you can see there's a lot of fields in an order. Total price, and actually I believe that's it for prices. Then we're going to have the is paid value, because we need to know if it's been paid. That's going to be a Boolean, and that's going to be required, and the default of course is going to be false. And then we're going to have a paid at field. So this will be the date and time that it's paid at. We're going to give it a type of date. Okay, then we're going to have an is delivered, and that's going to be the same as this. It's going to be a Boolean, required, and the default will be false. And then we also want a delivered at, just like we have a paid at. So change that to delivered at. And we'll have timestamps down here. Let's add order, and order schema, and then we just want to export default order. All right, so I know that that's it's quite a bit of fields here that we have, but in order to have the functionality that I want to have in this application, these are the fields that are required. So now what I want to do is I'm going to close all this up, and in the next video we're going to prepare some data for import, because we have this data folder with products.js, so we are going to use this data here. We're going to import this to the database. We also want to add some users as well, and then after we prepare our data, we'll go ahead and create a data seeder script to seed the database with that sample data. And then we can move on and we can start to fetch data from MongoDB, fetch our products, and then get into user authentication and go from there.